Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. This week we're looking at a Q&A session. It's all going to be about how to get a pay rise, how to take so-called advice from your boss, and how to keep a job from life. Right, without any more delay, let's get on with this week's show. Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. I hope you are keeping well and your teams are performing to the best of their ability, which I am sure they are. If you are listening to this podcast, you know that this is full of advice that's going to make you a better manager, a better leader, and hopefully a better person. We can't guarantee that. But yeah, anyway, thank you again for sending in some great questions this week to the Q&A session. We've done a couple of these recently, and these ones are just as good as before. So without any more waffling from me, let's get on to the first question. So again, I'm not going to say who sent these in. You know who you are. And please keep sending them to managermattpodcast@gmail.com, because it's always great to hear your thoughts and ideas and questions. So the first question is, and it's something that I don't think we really think about a lot sometimes, especially not in the UK, it's how to ask for a pay rise. Wow. Now, the British listeners out there, you're going to be shocked. How am I ever going to face this? I could never dare to ask for a pay rise. It's just not something we do. It's just not the British way. I'm sure in other countries, and we do have listeners throughout the world, that actually asking for a pay rise is something that you may think is quite normal and something that maybe you're good at. But I think in a lot of the Western society, especially the UK, asking for a pay rise outside the normal channels is a strange thing to do. But the first thing to do when you've got a problem in front of you is say to yourself, well, how would I, if I was going to be on the other side, want to receive a request for a pay rise? So, first thing, you need to be good at the job you're doing. I know that sounds like something you shouldn't have to say, but you need to be good at the job. You shouldn't be going in there asking for a pay rise, especially if you use the term like, well, so-and-so's got up the pay rise, or he or she's paid more money than me, I should have a pay rise. That's not going to cut it. If you're absolutely rubbish at what you do, there's no chance in hell your boss is going to give you any money to be rubbish. So you've got to be good at what you do. So think of it that way around. But also think of a case you're going to build. So if you're on the reverse, you need all the information in front of you that's going to allow that boss to go up the chain, because all bosses have bosses, and ask the next level up, can I have a pay rise? Or can I give a pay rise? That would be a better way of saying it, to my directs. So try to structure it around, you're good at your job. Right, fine, you're good at your job. That's what you paid for anyway. What's the next level? What do you bring that's above the norm? How do you go above and beyond it? Similar to when you're doing your appraisals at the end of the year. How do you prove that you have gone above and beyond? How can you make it easy for your boss to have that conversation with his or her boss to give you that raise? So you're going to go in there with evidence. Of course you are. You're going to look at times where you went that extra mile, and maybe that extra 10 miles. The time when you pushed for the most sales in the month. The time that you made sure that the customer satisfaction was the highest. The time that you delivered the best numbers, the best figures, the best production data, the best quality, the safest. Look for data, build it. You should be building it anyway for your end of year, but build it because it's going to help you when it gets to those conversations. And then, with a trusting boss and with a relationship which is built on one-to-ones and good feedback, as you know, then you can broach that subject. Make it obvious. You can say to your boss, look, I think I've been overachieving recently, and I've really enjoyed doing it, and I love the business, and I think I'm living the values. I'm pushing it every day. My sales figures are amazing. Look at what I've done. I've hit all my targets and exceeded them. I put that extra effort in whenever you ask me to. I believe that maybe last year I was paid fairly, but I think this year I'm slipping behind. I've done a little bit of research, and I think I'm a little bit behind where I should be. And I don't think it's fair that I let you know that I believe I'm worth more at this company because I'm delivering and I really do feel that I deserve a rise. Is that something you can help me with? Simple as that. An easy subject. Now they could turn around and go, no. I don't think most managers would. They may turn around and go, well, it's only allowed to give rises within the structure of the business, which is only in between the months of March and April. It's a load of nonsense that. Every business has movement. If you put your ticket in and decide to go, and you are as good as you think you are, or you are as good as you are, I'm sure 99 times out of 100 that they will try to keep you because they know you're good and they want you. So ask the questions. Worst thing you can do is not ask. If you ask, they say no, well, fine, then you have a different plan. You may have to think about an exit strategy. You may be offered improvement plans. You may be offered training or even a promotion, which has its downside as well as its upside. So first thing to do, as I said, is ask, formulate a plan, prove that you are good at what you do and you've gone that extra mile, and then talk to your boss in an open way to give him or her the heads up what you're doing and get them on side. Hope that's helped. Question number 2. How to take so-called advice from my boss. Oh, that's a spicy one. So-called advice. So I'm assuming, dear listener, that the advice that you've been given isn't something you want. Now, there's 2 ways of looking at this. Hopefully the boss is giving you this advice because they're using an open model of feedback and they want you to improve and they don't want you to fall down any pit holes or make mistakes and they want you to be successful. So hopefully this advice isn't so-called, it's actually good advice. So my advice to you about advice would be to listen first. Step away from it if you're being emotive and think, is this good advice? Is this solid advice? Is this something I should take on board? Is it useful? Is it useful? Maybe find someone who you can trust as a sounding board. Be careful with that one because a lot of businesses talk, as we know, and things get back around. So just sound it out. You know, you're saying so-called advice. So if it's something that is very tangible, like technical, very easy to do. If he's a technical manager and he's telling you something and you damn right know he's wrong, then that's easy to go, well, I'm not going to take that on board. But mostly, and I'm reading between the lines here, obviously, advice, so-called, is about behaviours, it's about the politics, it might be around the way that you're acting. So, you know, sometimes that advice may be worth a listen to. So listen to it, take it on board. If you're not too sure what that person means, go back around. You know, just ask him, hi boss, you know, thank you for the advice you gave me the other day. I'd love to expand on it and just a bit of a build. Which areas specifically do you think I could do better? What are the areas I could really improve? Because I'm here to improve and I'm glad you've reached out to me because it's important I get better. What can I do differently? Nothing wrong with that. And then you can take that second build and see if it's worth it and do it. So, you know, when you say so-called advice, I'm hoping that realistically it's good advice, it's strong advice. But hit me up if it isn't, and I'd love to expand on it another week. The last question, I'm not sure about this one, but, you know, how to keep a job for life. Wow, there aren't many of them around, let's be honest. Let's start being honesty. There aren't many jobs for life. We all know business world moves all the time, and if you're in a leadership and management position, you know you've moved probably a few times in your career to get either higher or sideways or into different businesses with different ethics and values or different pay scale. Let's be honest. People go for pay sometimes, you know, maybe better benefits, maybe better pensions, healthcare. So when you're saying keeping a job for life, basically, do you want to keep a job for life? If you have found a job you love and everything is right about it, then gosh, yes, keep it if you want. And if it entertains you and keeps you on the, you know, waking up in the morning and bouncing out of bed, then do that. Go for it. And of course, a bit like the first question around getting a pay rise, the best thing you can do if you want to keep a job for life is be good at the job. Now that goes again without saying, be the best you can. But be careful you don't slip into being too much of an expert. If you become too much of an expert and become too grounded, then when things change around you, because you're staying for life, you say you're there forever, you're a lifer. When the other things change around you, you might not fit in anymore. Not with your knowledge, but just with the personalities and where things are. So if you're left there and everything's changing around you, you could be the one being almost being moved out. You don't want to go, but slowly but surely everything changes around you. So just be careful when you are for life that you're still open to learning, you're still open to expanding your knowledge, you're still open to taking on new challenges, pushing the envelope. You become too native and become too focused, and that job for life might backfire because firstly, they may change it. And let's also look into the fact that there aren't many industries that are the same now as there were even 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. And they're not going to be the same in 10 years' time. So be careful if you want a job for life. There are some professions that you go out there that will be very much the same probably in years to come. Let's think of construction industry, plumbers. Very difficult for those to be replaced. Very manual, very kind of skillful jobs. Although the people who know AI and computers and robots will say, oh yes, everything will be replaced. I'm not seeing that just yet, but who knows in the future? We haven't got a crystal ball. But a lot of leadership positions have changed, they have moved on, and that's just evolution. So when you're thinking job for life, maybe company for life, but don't typecast yourself into just be a job for life. But if you do will enjoy it and you want to keep there, then go for it. Enjoy it. You be you. You live your life. Enjoy what you do. Just as much as I have enjoyed doing this podcast for you. So Q&A session. I hope those 3 questions have been great. Remember, if there is anything I've missed or if there's any feedback, as it's a gift, please send it to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. Please send me some more questions. I've got a few more in the bag, but I do love these Q&A sessions. I think they really do open up us to lots of different ideas and questions about leadership and management. And of course, if there is a burning question you've never, ever thought of asking, please send it to me. Let me have a think about it and let me get one on a cast, because I'm sure if you're thinking about it, lots of other leaders and managers are. Well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening as always, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.